I gotta say, I like these scene transitions where they like, where it scrolls in or it pans in. You don't see that in many visual novels. Stepping onto our floor, the atmosphere immediately switches to a lively one. The sounds of chatter are drowned out by the roar of a large fan. The lighting is dim and tinted slightly blue. The windows are also covered, giving the feeling that it has suddenly become night. As this is an aquarium, it makes sense that the concept is based around the ocean. Yes, the pungent smell of salt is a major change. Amazing. It's like we've dived into the deep sea. That's what I thought too. Instead of being targeted at families, lately it's more like a date spot for adults. Or at least that's what the magazine said. But it's true. Even though this is my second time coming here, it feels like the first time. Next to the entrance is a souvenir shop, though it lacks the usual boisterous voices. It appears to be the place that can be reached both from the inside and outside, but it doesn't seem to get many customers. Yeah, I mean, whoever goes to the gift shop? Just as Himeno has said, the aquarium seems to target adults. In an atmosphere like that, even Himeno looks nervous. Hey, Mayu? What's up? I forgot to tell you one important thing. Uh-oh. Himeno makes a mysterious face and brings her mouth up to my ear. What, did you drop your wallet or something? No, that's not it. This is something that I heard that's a bit of an urban legend, but they say the amount of people going missing is on the rise. There's a rumour that this month alone, the number of missing is well into the double digits. What? This is important to know. We have this conversation in front of the metal rack that holds the map of the aquarium. Aside from the map, there is a guide to Mountain East Building and information about the affiliated hotels. During that time, we hear the sound of the elevator opening and closing, but do not see people going into the aquarium. Mountain used to be a shopping district, right? That seems to be why, even if there were a lot of runaways, the media wouldn't pay much attention. But supposedly many of the missing persons had stopped off at Mountain Aquarium. That rumour, who did you hear it from? Who indeed? No one in particular, you know how rumours spread. At Himeno's words, I feel a cold shiver run down my spine. Yeah, me too. Regardless of how credible the rumour is, a sense of dread shoots through me. Considering my past, it's natural that I would feel connected to missing persons in my age range, especially if they are runaways. If that is the case, it would send chills along the back of my neck. Why on earth? You could have told me before this. Well, I thought if you had heard about it, Mayu, you might not have wanted to come. Oh, so you forgetting to tell me was a lie then, you little... I had intended to protest firmly, but it still ended rather anticlimactically. Ghosts may exist, and they may still be unable to come back, but that doesn't mean I'm interested in visiting places where they are. This is proof that Himeno has her own strange interests, yet it still makes me feel even more worried. This rumour has a continuation. Specifically, people who saw the deep-sea fish booth never come home. Okay. Himeno relays those two pieces of information that frightened me with a smile. The rumour of itself aside, she wanted to pass over the question of why the people were able to see the closed-off deep-sea fish booth in the first place, not wanting to discuss it at all. Oh, wait a minute, Himeno. Something else is tied in beneath that fear. Something about the aquarium, and the missing persons who didn't come home. That was essentially... Well, that was creepy. Are you okay, Mayu? Sorry, I guess I scared you a bit too much. I think the story's pretty exaggerated, so don't worry about it. I heard it's a fun aquarium. I think we should take stories with a grain of salt, right? Though our kindness is misdirected, its kindness just the same. Having involuntarily sat down, I take the hand Himeno extends to me. As I slowly rise to my feet, I respond, yeah, you're right. To think that I would hear of a connection to my precious memory in a place like this. It's strange. After 5 years, the memories should have faded. I tell myself this, then I let out a small sigh. Himeno is actually showing concern, so I sit down on a bench in the rest area next to the souvenir shop. Himeno even brings me a can of cocoa. As I'm drinking it, she buys her tickets. With her doing all of this, I have to go with her. Are you okay, miss? The fact that I'm thinking thoughts like, this canned cocoa is a little weak, is proof that I'm cooling down. As I'm starting to feel better, a male voice calls out to me. While holding my half-finished cocoa, I turn in the direction the voice came from. Rather than the boy's voice I expect, it belongs to an adult, so I respond timidly. I'm okay, so... Oh, no need to be so vigilant. Vigilant. He's wearing a grey knit cap and brown running shirt. He's tall, even for a guy, so I have to look up at him. His build is almost all muscle, and my shoulders shudder a bit in response, in surprise. Now I'm just inventing words. I don't know what's going on. He appears well over the age of 20, so I can't think of a reason he would want to talk to us. Whoa, look at those rings. Seriously? Whether he realises I'm looking up at him or not, he plunks down right next to me. Even after he sits down, we aren't sitting at the same height. Pretending to fix my posture, I move away from him a little. Are you not feeling well? I'm fine, really. Thanks to my nerves and my wariness, I end up speaking unnaturally fast. Moreover, if he really is a kind person, I might end up abusing his good intentions. How cold? It figures. I say again without thinking. Without my knowledge what he's so happy about, the man's mouth loosens into a grin. You're pretty clever. I give up. But you know, I seriously am worried about you. Your face is pale and all. His kind words take me by surprise. I inadvertently avert my eyes. Okay. For some reason, I become strangely embarrassed and begin tapping my index finger on my can of cocoa. Well, that aside, since you came to have fun, let me show you around. Is this guy hitting on me? We're really just fine. Yeah, he's hitting on me. The words come out so naturally they surprise even me. I have now become a complete idiot, and my eyes meet his. I work part-time in this building, so I'm familiar with it. This area, that is. Hey, what are you doing? Himeno! I gasp and look up. Himeno is there carrying 2 tickets and some pamphlets. With her hands on her hips and her cheeks puffed out, Himeno glares at the man with narrowed eyes. I think the only ones allowed to hit on middle schoolers would be high schoolers. No, I'm not trying to hit on anyone. Yes, you're totally trying to hit on me. This girl just looked unwell is all. Mayu, what happened? I think it was what you'd call hitting on... Yeah, definitely. I think it was what you'd call hitting on someone. You're the worst. Himeno pulls my arm with a jerk, pulling me backward. Then she inserts herself between the man and I. Hey, mister. Himeno mutters, facing the man's chest. On hearing her say mister and giving me a puzzled look, the man shows the plastic name tag hanging from his neck. Ah, I must have forgotten to take this off. Oh, that was Mr. as in, like, I'm trying to read your name tag, but I can't see it. Himeno, speaking of which, he did say he works part-time in his building. Ah, then is that his entry card or something? He slaps his knees and rises to his feet. He probably played some kind of sport or something, because the movement as he stands looks so effortless. I'm Hiyoshi Kenji. I work part-time at the shop downstairs. With this entry card, I can get into Mountain Aquarium at a discount. Is it a company employee discount? Something like that. I'm not exactly a company employee, but I get in half off anyway, so I come here often. Really? That's quite unexpected for you, mister. Yeah, he comes here often. This is a known date spot, isn't it? He was totally hitting on me. When you become older, you'll crave those soothing experiences as well. And I'm not an old enough. Bleh. This isn't even really a tongue twister, and I'm struggling to say it. And I'm not old enough to be Mister. No. Now he says it. Compared to us, you're definitely old enough to be a Mister. Hiyoshi-san makes a face like he's getting angry, then sniffs in a self-deprecating manner. He appears to be a little older than a college student, so calling him old enough to be a Mister is probably rude, but Himeno only said the impression he gave was pretty close. With the aquarium as a shared point of interest, Himeno's attitude towards Hiyoshi-san softens. As proof, Himeno talks with Hiyoshi-san about the shops in his building. I don't really know a lot about brands, so I sip my remaining cocoa and listen from the outside. My iced cocoa has become lukewarm cocoa. Well, mister, are you also well versed in urban legends? On hearing Himeno's question, my head pops up in surprise. The corners of Hiyoshi-san's mouth lift to a grin. That's rather unexpected for you as well. So you're interested in such things? Of course I am. You're only young once, so you have to satisfy your curiosity. We're looking into the closed-down deep-sea fish booth. There's a rumour that it's open on the day of the full moon. Do you know anything about that? Hiyoshi-san places his hand on his chin and looks down, grunting loudly. He glances at me, then looks to the entrance next. Then finally he returns to Himeno and opens his mouth. I think you need to give up on that one thing. Naturally, since I'm a regular here, I often hear rumours like, there are spirits floating in the tanks, or every time a person dies, the jellyfish tank increases by 1, and so on. Himeno-chan, the story you mentioned shouldn't be anything more than one of those rumours, but... Stop dancing around it, just tell me. Previously, I knew someone who went looking into this just as you girls are doing now. He went missing soon after. Missing? Without thinking about it, I join in the conversation. If someone has gone missing here at Mountain Aquarium, it holds significance for me as well. Is that for real? I glance back in surprise. Himeno is still looking at him with doubt in her eyes. Hiyoshi-san listens to what Himeno said, and with a playful smile responds, "Just kidding, it's a lie." I wonder if it is a lie. Because of the words he muttered, my curiosity has been piqued. The tense face he made as he told the story of an acquaintance who went missing, I couldn't imagine that being faked. That's right, but if that's the case, then this really might interest you, Mayu. I've thought from the beginning that it would be better just to give up. No way! I already bought the tickets anyway. Himeno's face shows that she's enjoying herself to the end. And she takes, that says tails, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say takes, my arm to gently pull me closer to her. This was a signal that she was ready to go, and in my mind, I prayed that nothing would happen. Well then, want to walk around with me? Hiyoshi-san calls out to Himeno, who has said later, but it's me rather than Himeno who hears him and spins around first, so I make eye contact with Hiyoshi-san and say, see, I think that's fine probably means, okay, you can walk around with us, but in my mind, it sounds like you're saying, that's fine, I'll pass. I think we'll pass. It's fine, don't worry about it. I have the day off anyway. Besides, I think you'd be better off having someone as knowledgeable about this place as I am. Mister, that's not a good look. Maya said she's got no interest in you. Himeno's late response seems to pierce right through Hiyoshi-san. Himeno, it's not that I'm not interested, but it's not that I am either. Wait, so what? Mayu, don't say any more than you already have. A bitter grin spreading across his face, Hiyoshi-san waves to us. Without looking back, we head for the gate to Mountain Aquarium. The aquarium entrance is so dark we can't see in front of us until we're inside. I can feel the cold air from inside my skin. I can feel the cold air from inside on my skin. There we go. I get a sensation of something heavy in that air, so I begin rubbing my arm. Naturally, there's no mark indicating something has touched me, and called back by Jimenos, "Hey, let's go!" I pass my ticket through the machine. Okay. Meh. It figures that the whole, if you come on the day of a full moon, all the water will change into blood thing is a lie. The water's normal. Of course it's normal. Right away, Jimena says so regretfully. Even so, she's still unable to hold back her excitement at having come to the aquarium, and her steps are fittingly light. As we come out of the gate, there are several small tanks nearby. Mandan Aquarium's first and most celebrated exhibit is the one displaying fish native to Tokyo Bay. There are 4 tanks in this corner, from left to right, each one showing the environments of the river flowing into Tokyo Bay. Brackish waters, shoals, and open water come one right after the other. Himeno giggles as rockfish, porgy? I don't know. I'm not well versed in my aquatic pronunciations. And other fish we recognise from the supermarket are also there. This booth also showcases environmental problems in order to prompt consciousness of the issue, causing a tightening in my chest. Water pollution is a serious problem. Tomorrow I think I'll try asking Mum to use a little less detergent. Suddenly it got like this. Himeno's reaction is the polar opposite of mine. Even as I'm reading the panels, she's uninterested in the display. Just like that, I read every last panel. Jimeno has long since stopped watching me and has crossed her arms and puffed out her cheeks. Thanks for waiting, Jimeno. Jeez, you're too serious, Maya. If you act like that the whole time, the day will be over. Or they'll close. It'll be fine. This area isn't that big, and it's not like I'm going to read everything. As soon as she hears what I said, an expression of dissatisfaction appears on Jimeno's face. Well, let's head to the next area. Next is the tunnel tank. There might be ghosts. Oh, maybe that'll be the one with the human-like fish. Human-like fish? That's not a thing. Jeez, come on already. Even saying something like that, upon entering the aquarium I had begun to enjoy myself. Upon cheerfully calling out to Jimeno, my previous unease had disappeared, leaving me ready to move forward with a light step. Amazing. What is that, a shark? And some rays? Really amazing, and pretty. With no door to partition this booth and the next, passing beside this tank took us to the next one, where larger breeds of fish swim about. This is no ordinary tank, but rather a giant tube-like tunnel with the left and right sides connected above our heads in an arc. As we walked through the tunnel, we were able to watch the fish moving about in 3 dimensions. We bring our faces as close as we can to the glass, giving the illusion that we're in the ocean. Just watching the mantas, the rays, the various types of sharks, and the sea turtles can be intoxicating for us humans. When I was a child I thought the ceiling might crack, but now I pass that feeling up, leaving only the throbbing of my heart. The water is a giant bundle of blue, various colours within it shooting every which way. Being able to see how big they are up close, separated by mere centimetres of glass, is so impressive, it gives me the greatest realisation of our shared existence. Here, Jimeno's pace slows and she takes her steps one by one. Hey Mayu, look at those huge fangs! Jimeno, that fish is cute too. Wow, the stingray's face is creepy. They are really creepy. Really? I think it's cute. No, it's not cute, it's horrifying. Amanda, it's huge. That little one over there looks yummy. Talking as the words come to us, our conversations seem out of sync. Our feelings of being touched, however, are the same. Another spelling mistake there. and Himeno's enjoyment is obvious. Being surrounded by the water and the fish as we are, we feel as though we're freed from any sense of time. Mayu, doesn't his raised face look human? Maybe so. It does! The mystery of the human-faced fish is solved. Naturally. Oh well, if you're okay with it, then so am I. Thus we learned the true nature of one of the urban legends. I was fine either way, but for Himeno this way was probably best. Though from Himeno's enthusiastic stance, even as she watches the fish, she probably realizes just how implausible it all is. Rather than get tired of it though, I'm having fun. We move leisurely through the tunnel, coming to a stop in the centre. Up to this point, only the big things have caught our eyes, but on closer inspection of the tank, there's also sand piled up to our knees, with shrimp, shellfish, small fish, and other such creatures dwelling there. Compared to the manta rays, the small shrimp, which can't even be considered child-sized, seem so cute and innocent as they swim about, breaking through the sand. Hey, look, Himeno. It's tiny. As I expected, Himeno has followed the human-faced ray, and on seeing my fingertip, speaks in a playful tone. Upon sensing the tremors from Himeno poking the glass, the ray kicks at the sand and flees deeper into the tank. Man, it's gone now. As I say this to Himeno, I smile at the small shrimp. Himeno does the same, without trying to keep the seam of her mouth closed. Before long, the two of us are looking up at the ceiling, toying with the question of just how high it is. Even as we look up, we can only see the fish swimming, never the ceiling itself. Looking up from the bottom of the sea, one would normally see the rays of the sun piercing the water. But looking up here was the opposite, with the bottom of the sea seeming to continue forever. It could have been a reflection of the light, or the ceiling really might have been too high. As I realise I can't be sure, my eyes settle on a small but characteristically long-nosed shark swimming past. Sharks. Sharks, that's a ray, isn't it? You just saw it from behind earlier. As soon as I mutter that, Himeno responds. It's true that although I'm interested in this type, Himeno is fixated on a human-faced ray. Oh, what the? Huh? What's up? Himeno asks, but I falter. The conversation gives me a sense of what you might call deja vu. How strange. I felt as if I've had this conversation before. At that moment, my vision is dyed ultramarine. So not red, that's good. But still, this music box. Oh god, it's the ghost from before. Huh? It was no longer Himeno in front of me, but someone else that had caught my attention. This can't be real. Hey Mayu! The ultramarine colour unchanged. Within it, a face like mine passes before me. A face like mine from 5 years ago. Wearing an ultramarine overcoat that matches with the colour of my vision, the girl turns to me and seems to be giving me a gentle smile. Mayu, wait! Mari? Without hearing Himeno calling me back, I start running. We haven't finished looking at everything in the tube tunnel tank, but there's something more important in front of me right now. Long hair that looks almost transparent. A thick blue coat. Cute boots with fur on them. There's no way I could forget that outfit. That's because it was the outfit my little sister, Nakanobi Mari, wore that when she went missing here 5 years ago. Oh, wow. The girl quickens her pace as if playing with me, and disappears out on the other side of the tunnel. There are hardly any people there, but I lose sight of her between the shadows of the tank and the corner. Mari. How? Why? Hey Mayu, wait! Breathing heavily, Himeko? I thought it was Himeno. Okay, there's so many typos in this. Breathing heavily, Himeko chases after me. I say sorry, and I break away from her, searching for the vision of Mari. As I come out of the tunnel, I survey the area, spotting a winter skirt nearby. I chase after that swaying form. Behind me I can hear the intensity of Himeno's rushing steps and quickening my pace. Kya! Having fallen into a trance, I realise what's going on when I slam into someone and fall on my backside. Huh? Who is that? The girl clicks her tongue as she picks up what she had dropped. As I start to say, "Excuse me," to her, she's already moving past me and runs off somewhere. Through that brief incident, I'm unable to find my way out of my confusion. Anyway, Mari. I'm sorry about the person I'd run into and feel flustered. In that exchange, I lose sight of both that long hair and that long skirt. But you were going this way, right? I'm not sure myself where I'm running to, but I think you can say I'm definitely running with all my heart. I pass between the tanks, more tanks than I can remember, but I don't pay them one bit of attention. I just continue following Mari's back, running. Mari is just as bashful as she was the day she disappeared. Mayu, get a hold of yourself. Those few words end my chase. To be more accurate, it was the end for Himeno, who had grabbed my wrist. Huh? You suddenly took off, and you wouldn't turn around no matter how many times I called you. Even when you dropped something, you had no idea. What happened all of a sudden? Wait, Himeno. If I can go after Mari, I'll explain everything, so... Hold it! I look back at Himeno upon hearing her extremely hard voice. I see tears forming in Himeno's eyes as I turn my whole body to face her. I stand in silence like this for several seconds. If I tell Himeno about Mari, I'm sure she'll regret bringing me to Mountain Aquarium. When she followed me, she had to have seen Mari. It's natural that she would have some misgivings about me chasing some total stranger, since she didn't know Mari. Even so, I'm not sure what to say. If I apologise now and play dumb, we can probably go back to playfully searching the aquarium for information. But that is not something I can do. It isn't the similarities that are the problem. Mari is here, and just as she had been on that day, there's no way I can go home without taking her with me. Mayu, tell me what's going on. Who is Mari? Why do you keep running off without saying anything? Tears are pouring out of Himeno's eyes. I can't understand why she's so sad. But still, my little sister, she was here. Little sister? See, the girl I was chasing, she's my little sister. Mari disappeared 5 years ago, at this aquarium. Looking at Himeno's tear-stained face, I no longer feel like hiding anything. Perhaps in the depths of my consciousness, I'm hoping Himeno will become satisfied and say she wants to look for Mari with me. I'll explain in more detail later. On top of that, when I look back once more, Himeno squeezes my hand and holds me back. This is the gentlest, but the strongest that she's held my hand. Himeno stares into my eyes, then tilts her head to the side. What do you mean, you were chasing someone? I told you the little girl that was in front of me, wearing the ultramarine coat and boots, remember? That was Mari, exactly how she looked long ago. Mayu, snap out of it. Himeno shouts. It isn't simply a loud voice, but one weighted down with a great sadness. It definitely gets through to me, but that doesn't mean it will stop me. Because without a doubt, I was right. Mari had been right before my eyes, so I had to chase. Let's just say that even if this Mari girl is here, she would have grown in 5 years, and her clothes wouldn't be the same. It's summer, so she wouldn't wear a coat. Moreover, she was here. I saw her. No, Mayu. No. Mayu, you weren't chasing anyone. You just took off running, leaving me behind, okay? Could you just calm down for a bit? Our tickets will get us back in, so how about some cocoa in the rest area? I think you're tired since you were a little shaky earlier. Himeno seems pretty frantic, so I know she isn't lying just to persuade me. But there's no way that my seeing Mari was a liar. There was a lie. That's why I start to speak without really knowing what I want to say. Himeno... Mayu... okay? Wiping away her tears, Himeno smiles at me. Surely she has plenty of strong feelings about this whole thing. I'm sure she has loads to say about my keeping the Mari thing, and my reason for resisting visiting Mountain Aquarium quiet. Even so, it seems as though Himeno has accepted me. She just smiles and lets it go. That's probably right. Surely if we're by the entrance we'll know if Mari comes out. Mayu, that's good. That's right, that's more like you. Let's go have some cocoa and you can tell me everything. As she smiles, Himeno once again takes my hand into her soft palm. Oh, that's right, you dropped this. You gotta be more careful. With the hand that isn't holding my own, she hands me something small. Oh. It's a keychain. The blue droplet shape is inlaid with stardust, and also holds a starfish charm. It isn't exactly rare, but being a giveaway item. But why did Himeno have it? Only questions arise in my mind. Why, when that keychain was... On thinking about it, I instinctively shake off Himeno's hand. Hey, what are you doing? After I picked it up for you and all. Himeno's voice is like an arrow, piercing through me. The pain in my chest is nothing more than discomfort. What is Himeno saying? That isn't mine, so I can't possibly have dropped it. And now I can't look at Himeno's face. Liar. Huh? Liar? That's not mine. It isn't something I dropped. It was Mari's. Mari dropped it. That can't be. I'm not lying. Really, there was no Mari-chan, so she couldn't have dropped the keychain. Himeno was becoming gruff as she continued. Really, isn't it you who's lying? No one else is here. That's enough. Himeno, you dummy. Saying only that, I turn my back on Himeno. When I glance back, Himeno's shocked expression is getting further away. She was there. Mari had definitely been there. Because the keychain Himeno had, it belonged to Mari. There was no way I could forget. It was just before Mari went missing. Well, that's it for part 2, guys. I hope if you've made it this far, you'll continue to watch the last part when it releases in a couple days. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, and if you'd like to see more, then perhaps consider subscribing. I'm Dran, and you've been watching TKMR Gaming, and as always, thanks for watching. Bottom of my foot. As I hesitantly look down, I realise the true identity of the putrid order.